Please welcome Vice President, Worldwide Public Sector, AWS, Max Peterson.
Hello, welcome. I hope you all are having a great conference here. It's wonderful to be able to be back in person again for this year's reInvent. It's great to see so many people face to face and to have those conversations that just pop up in the aisle. But we're also very glad that we're able to have our remote attendees, those who are joining us online or watching later on. This sort of hybrid event is really the new normal. It's going to be how we need to conduct our business going forward. It's many of the things that we've experienced in the past 18 months as we've tried to figure out what the new normal is. In fact, it's been a difficult, an extraordinary year in so many ways, some of them very, very hard. We want to continue to acknowledge the fact that this has been difficult on so many people everywhere around the world, and it continues to have an impact on how we live and how we do business. But I think there's also great opportunity that we can innovate and move forward, and that's what we're here to do today. I'm honored to lead our worldwide public sector business, and I'm ready to get started. Our customers are government, education, nonprofit, aerospace and satellite, and healthcare organizations across the globe, and they face these unique challenges to accomplish oftentimes complex missions, oftentimes with limited budgets. The pandemic really brought into focus, no matter where you are, what sector you're in, what country you're in, your life and your livelihood intersect with the public sector in ways that many of us had never experienced before. From vaccine delivery systems to virtual education, a functioning, efficient, cloud-enabled public sector helped to support the communities during this incredibly challenging time. People have come to expect the same world-class technology from public sector organizations that they expect when they log on to Netflix or when they go online and do a little bit of shopping. Maybe some of you did that on Black Friday or Cyber Monday. And because our customers are able to use AWS and they have been able to find innovative and dedicated ways, world-class service is in fact what they delivered during this pandemic. They saved lives. They provided mission-critical services. They changed the way society engages in many times, educates in many times, and the way we do business. And I think those changes are for good. COVID accelerated this digital transformation across the public sector institutions by 3 to 5 years. And I believe that many of those changes, I hope that many of those changes are going to become permanent and will be the basis for future innovation. Today, we've got several guest speakers that are joining us on screen and on the stage, and our first speaker is going to be joining us virtually to share how his organization pivoted in response to the pandemic and, in fact, is establishing a new model for how global events can connect people around the world. Let's turn our attention to the screens and hear more from Taif Mohsen, Vice President of Integrated Operations at Expo 2020 Dubai.
World Expos are one of the oldest and largest international events on the planet that take place every 5 years. They bring guests together to share ideas and collaborate, and have showcased some of the greatest innovations of their time, contributing to well-known structures, including the Eiffel Tower in Paris and the Space Needle in Seattle. Expo 2020 Dubai kicked off this past October. It is especially exciting as the first World Expo to take place after the pandemic, and is the first to be hosted in the Middle East, Africa, and South Asia, with a central theme to connect minds and create the future. And it truly is magic.
Oh,
La magie.
Magic. Magic is learning. Magic with music.
magic with technology.
With collaboration.
With architecture.
With business opportunities.
Magic with flavor.
Magic with celebration.
With your safety.
From here.
There.
And everywhere.
For 6 whole months, day and night.
and we've had a unique journey leading to the opening. While originally scheduled to launch in 2020, we quickly had to pivot when the pandemic hit in March and decided to push back the event 1 year, given health concerns and travel restrictions. Fortunately, much of our infrastructure is in AWS, so we had the flexibility needed to scale quickly. We scaled down utilization and applications that weren't needed, reducing our cost by 70% during the postponement, and effectively scaled our systems back up prior to the event. During the delay, we also built new virtual experiences like Expo Dubai Explorer, which is an interactive and educational game that allows users to work around the Expo 2020 site virtually and collect digital treasures. And we are using technology in a variety of ways to improve the in-person experience. We built a data science platform using AWS artificial intelligence and machine learning services, such as Amazon SageMaker, Redshift, and AWS Glue, integrated them in our backend systems, and created capabilities to provide insights for things like crowd management and prediction. Using AWS multi-regional disaster recovery also ensures that we have high availability of our mission-critical services and the resiliency needed to provide the best guest experience possible and avoid any downtime. We've learned a lot over these past 6 years and have been pleased to pave the way in establishing a model of how global events can connect people around the world in person or virtually. And we are excited about what's still to come after the event is over, as the legacy of Expo 2020 Dubai will live on. 80% of Expo built buildings and structures will find new life in thriving future city of District 2020, which will serve as the global center for the next generation of innovators, original thinkers, and pioneers. We are thrilled to be connecting minds and creating the future in all of these different formats. And we look forward to greeting those of you who join us at Expo 2020 Dubai between now and March 2022. Because when the world comes together, we create a better tomorrow.
That was great. Thank you very much. I tell you, it was truly remarkable. I was there as this was happening, and I remember when all of a sudden we had this recognition that the expo was not going to go on. And so suddenly everybody moved into the mode of, well, how do we go ahead and scale back down and start planning for the future? And so it was really a testament, one of those cases you live through that you really see how amazing it is to have the resources of the AWS cloud available to you, because you could adopt and adapt to anything. By the way, for anyone who can, I really encourage you to attend Expo 2020 Dubai. But if you can't, please visit the virtualexpodubai.com. You'll see the magic for yourself. There's so many things you can still explore there. In fact, it kind of sets the tone for what we're doing the rest of the day here. Is we're going to look at how customers are pushing the boundaries, both here on Earth and beyond, and what this means to us for our future. Let's start here on Earth. We live in a global, interconnected world, and the pandemic made it more apparent than ever before. Our customers in the public sector support citizens, students, patients, and they help them live better and healthier lives. While there's been many changes in how they deliver services, the one thing that has been constant is our customers' focus on mission. Consider the South African government, which developed GovChat. It's a citizen engagement portal. GovChat is a centralized hub that brings all of the government and civic services together. And by using a chatbot, the government reduced wait times, they reduced lines, they actually engaged citizens directly where they were. They met them right there on social media channels like WhatsApp or Facebook or SMS. The chatbot was built using Amazon Lex and Amazon Lambda artificial intelligence, and it was built to serve that direct need that was brought on by the pandemic, helping citizens to find the nearest COVID-19 testing stations and then be able to get access to their test results. What was really remarkable was that when another need arose, they knew what to do. They were in a situation where they had to deliver disaster relief grants to 17 million citizens. They were able to then pivot, swiftly use the same technology, and in just 24 hours after introducing the grants, the chatbot had handled nearly 19 million messages. And as of today, it's processed at least 12 million grants so far. This is just one example of the power of the cloud. It can enable a government to engage citizens directly and efficiently and quickly get them the relief and the services that they need when they need it most. Our next speaker is going to be joining us in person here to share how leveraging the cloud is helping AARP support its 38 million members and the efforts that they're taking to revolutionize the ways in which people can live their lives as they age. So please join me in welcoming Najib Odin, Chief Information Officer of AARP, to the stage. We're so glad to have you here today.
Thanks, Max. So the one thing everyone here has in common, we're all aging. And by the time I'm done presenting, we're all going to be a few minutes older. So what else could we have in common? How about resisting ageism? Today, I'd like to take a shot at changing whatever preconceived notions you have about people who are older. In short, I want to change your minds. So let's start with the basics. People over 50 are the largest and fastest growing demographic in the world. They're perhaps some of you in the audience. They're your parents. They're your grandparents. They're about a quarter of the world's population, which is nearly 2 billion people. And they're living longer. 10-year-olds today have a 50% chance of living to be 104 years old. So if you put your notions aside about aging, what does that mean about how you design, build, work, and live? I'll tell you what it means for us at AARP. We're continuously innovating to better serve this changing and exciting demographic. It's a big job, and it's a job made better with cloud technology, including AWS. So at AARP, we're dedicated to empowering people to choose how they live as they age. We're the nation's largest nonprofit, nonpartisan organization and have represented nearly 38 million older Americans for more than 6 decades. We fight to protect Social Security, and we're on Capitol Hill right now fighting to reduce prescription drug costs. And while our members care about this, they care about a lot of other critical issues. For example, they care about staying competitive in the job market. They want to save for their retirements. They're caring for an older parent. So AARP is a $1.8 billion organization working on these and other critical issues for our engaged and vibrant membership. But we didn't get here overnight. Our cloud journey began 10 years ago. Today, as a result of that journey, our members can get the help and the resources they need in a consistent way across any device, anytime, day or night, on any channel. So today, we are able to effectively field millions of calls, emails, and digital inquiries. At the same time as we're fielding these calls, we're hosting tens of thousands of people across the nation in hundreds of events that help them stay engaged and connected. Okay, enough about me and AARP. Now let's take a closer look at what it means to be over 50. Our research and experience has shown that this audience is ready to meet you digitally. And perhaps you already know this. You can see it in your own parents and grandparents. 90% of them are already online. They use mobile devices, and critically, the pandemic accelerated their technology adoption even more. For example, their socializing virtually went up 70% last year. The amount of money they spend on technology nearly tripled. At AARP, we were able to completely pivot our community outreach programs from being in person to being virtual using the cloud. This lets us meet our members and people where they are. In 2019, our 53 state offices hosted dozens of virtual events, but alongside thousands of in-person events. Last year, we did a complete 180, and we were able to produce over 5,000 high-quality virtual events that reached over 4.5 million people. Our members participated in things like fitness classes, concerts, and dance classes like this one, which had over 25,000 attendees. Today, our members and volunteers are no longer limited by where they live. For example, you here in Las Vegas can volunteer to help a low-income senior in New York City complete their federal and state tax returns. So we're now able to engage with thousands of events and programs from anywhere in the nation, from your home to even your own dance floor. Just 2 years ago, we weren't able to do this, but we were able to adapt because of our cloud infrastructure. This increase in technology adoption has also helped accelerate how this demographic consumes content. ARP has always been a trusted source of information for the 50+ around health, wealth, and self. As the nation's largest magazine publisher, we are well positioned to transform and develop new content to meet the digital needs of this audience. And because we have a flexible framework in place, we're able to quickly scale to keep our members informed during the pandemic. For example, our website traffic doubled to more than 25 million monthly unique users. Our social media channels just skyrocketed. Our virtual teletown halls reached over 3 million people last year and featured experts like Dr. Fauci and the US Surgeon General. Even our cloud-based help center was able to support a 152% increase in inbound requests. So let's talk about another dimension of this digital shift. This demographic is now working and earning longer. In fact, people 65 and older are the fastest growing segment of the labor force in the US. With 1/3 of our members still on the job, I can tell you that they're lifelong learners, just like many of you here at this conference. For example, over 3 million people tapped into our online libraries last year. They learned new skills and gained new certifications to stay competitive in today's job market. I know hiring is tough right now. I would ask you to reach out to your HR departments to see if you could be hiring the 50+. Because of the cloud, we were able to quickly innovate using data and insights to develop new products and experiences. So I hope I'm making a compelling case about why you should be serving this market. But we haven't talked about one thing. We need to talk about the money. People 50 and older have the economic power equivalent to the 3rd largest economy in the world. Only the US and China are larger. As this graph shows, they have the money. They spent over $7 trillion in goods and services in 2018. By 2050, this number will nearly quadruple. They are the buyers. They account for 53% of all consumer spending. And they're researching buying online. In the last 3 years, this demographic, their online shopping increased by 23%, and the money spent online increased by 34%. So what does this all mean? They have the resources to live life on their own terms. This is a huge market that you should consider when you're developing your products and services. Frankly, if you're not paying attention, you're missing out on a great opportunity. All right, so we're a few minutes older. How's it feel? I look out and I see a room full of the most creative and talented people in the world. So I have a challenge for you. When you're creating the next great thing on AWS, no matter how old you are, I want you to think about what you could design for the future version of you. This is an opportunity to build the future for you, your children, and their future. To build for our society for years to come, together. Thank you.
Najib, that was excellent. It was really good. I tell you, I've got to figure out some of those dance moves. I must have missed that part of the AARP website. It was awesome to be able to hear how technology is, in fact, working with all of our not-for-profits And I tell you, there is something that's just incredibly fulfilling about all of the work that we do with our not-for-profits all around the world. It is so much about that mission and the constituents that they serve, and it really drives us to keep working in that way. What we try to do is also encourage other people to push the boundaries, and we do that by helping identify and highlight ingenuity when we see it. That's why we created the Imagine Grant back in 2018 to fund US-based nonprofits who are using cloud technology to solve the world's most pressing challenges. Since 2018, when we launched the program, we've awarded more than $4.5 million in unrestricted funds, AWS promotional credits, and in training support to 46 nonprofit organizations to support their technology-driven goals. And today, I'm proud to announce the winners of the 2021 grants. And so I really want you to give them a big round of applause. They worked hard. This year, we offered 2 distinct award categories, and we expanded funding for nonprofits to receive support based on their organizational goals and the stage of their technology adoption journey. First was the Go Further Faster Award for highly innovative projects that used advanced cloud services. And the second was for the Momentum to Modernize Award for foundational technology projects. We're so inspired by these 20 winners, and they're all listed here. I hope they're either here in the audience or joining virtually, but let's just give them a round of applause. These are just a snapshot of the big, bold visions that these leaders have to improve the world with cloud technology. We're very proud to be able to support all of these talented world changers and to continue to use our imagination to extract the best that technology can offer society. We need to keep ensuring that there's a future of tech talent that's as diverse as the world that we live in. And we believe that we've got a responsibility to make that happen. So we do that through training programs, educational content, partnerships, and programs that increase the number of underrepresented technologists who participate in today's innovation economy. And today, we'd like to acknowledge the recipient of another AWS grant, Jacqueline Hernandez. I hope she's with us today. She won an All Builders Welcome Grant. Jacqueline, if you're here, where are you? How's Jacqueline? Jacqueline won the All Builders Welcome Grant to attend reInvent this year, and that's why she's here with us in person, along with a number of other winners, and it's so awesome that you're able to attend. I hope you get a ton out of it. Jacqueline is also a 2-time winner, probably more. She also is one of the finalists for the 2020 Cloud Skills for El Salvador initiative. So Jacqueline, thanks very much. You're a great example of the deep commitment that we have to trying to prepare the global workforce for the jobs of tomorrow. Our public sector customers are tackling challenges like this every day. And as the global economy transforms education and training and reskilling, they're all vital to be able to ensure people across the globe are equipped to be able to participate in this future economy. The African Leadership Group is an ecosystem of organizations that are focused on harnessing the power of a booming African population. Today, they announced a commitment to create a matching program to connect global talent to in-demand career centers. AWS is going to power their Room for Intelligence platform and offer cloud training and curriculum to assist in this effort. This collaboration will be built using a data lake on Amazon S3, containerized microservices using Amazon Fargate, and Amazon SageMaker for artificial intelligence and machine learning. This is a long-term vision that's impressive and important. According to the World Economic Forum, automation may displace as many as 85 million jobs in the next 5 years. The automation of the global workforce is outpacing expectations, and COVID-19 is accelerating that technology shift. The Room aims to help solve this problem by empowering, connecting, and training 20 million people over the next 10 years from across the globe. This obviously couldn't come at a more important time. While we grapple with turning workforce disruptions into opportunities, we must address one of the other major challenges that technology adoption is creating. Security is one of them. Securing critical government infrastructure from cyber attacks is a significant challenge for our public sector customers. We work closely with them to comply with the mandated security requirements to protect that critical data and the critical infrastructure. The insights that we gain from helping these customers ensure national security also helps us raise the bar for what we can deliver for all of our customers across AWS. One great example is an AWS partner called IronNet. They have combined forces with the New York Power Authority, the state's largest power utility, in a cloud-based cybersecurity solution that will provide collective defense to the NYPA and to its key supply chain partners. It's powered by AWS. IronNet's proprietary machine learning and artificial intelligence allows real-time threat detection and correlation across organizations in the NYPA supply chain that allows them collectively to be able to see cyber attacks earlier, share threats instantly, and stop attacks faster. This type of collaboration will protect the power grid serving the citizens of New York from malicious cyber attacks that could shut down critical businesses and infrastructure like power plants or schools or hospitals. This will help keep the economy running, and more importantly, it'll help protect livelihoods and may help save lives. We also work with customers in small business and entrepreneurs. We want to see them thrive. One example of this is the work with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. With so many consumers shifting to online shopping during the pandemic, local businesses were hit especially hard. Today, we're proud to announce that we will soon launch a buy local search platform that prioritizes Pennsylvania-based businesses. We've built this program in partnership with MindGrub, and it's now onboarding local merchants. And this is really important because when the site launches in the coming months, it will help the Commonwealth meet their goal of continuing to support small businesses through the pandemic and into the recovery. Our customers are also doing amazing work to protect the planet. From using genomic research to help protect endangered species, to accelerating water conservation research, our customers are empowered to address the biggest challenges that face our people and our planet. One important way that we can help is in disaster preparedness. AWS has partnered with Lockheed Martin to develop a natural disaster simulation tool that enables customers to model scenarios that would otherwise be too dangerous, too time-consuming, or too costly to do in the real world. These kinds of simulations would not be possible without the power of cloud computing. As our climate changes and as natural disasters increase, it's absolutely vital that decision makers are equipped to manage the coming crises. Simulations are critical ways to help policymakers and their constituents make more informed decisions, to be able to increase preparedness, and ultimately be able to save lives. The University of British Columbia is hosting an international research initiative called The Sea Around Us to assess the impact of fisheries on marine environments. Because this initiative is cloud-based, it can collect, analyze, and store fisheries-related information from every maritime country since 1950. The real-time data is then turned into real insights that offer mitigating solutions to a range of stakeholders so that they can better conserve marine habitats and protect critical wildlife. UBC is actually leveraging our Cloud Innovation Center, or CIC program, which helps public sector organizations collaborate, test out new ideas, and access AWS technology expertise. And speaking of CICs, this week we announced the launch of our new CIC in Singapore, the first in Southeast Asia. It joins the centers that we have around the world that provide public sector organizations with the opportunity to collaborate, to experiment, to innovate, and to develop solutions to societal challenges. The center is going to collaborate with local co-innovation labs and focus on solving challenges in the areas of healthcare, education, urban living and mobility, sustainability, and more, all contributing to Singapore's Smart Nation vision, which aims to transform the city through technology. We're super excited about this opportunity to deepen our relationship through the Cloud Innovation Program, and to be able to continue supporting the public sector and citizens to be able to deliver these mission capabilities for their constituents. The Sea Around Us is an initiative that includes academic institutions from across the globe, and this is a perfect example of what the future of research looks like. Today's most pressing challenges are global in nature. No single university, no single research institute, no single company or country can individually address them. Today's most pressing challenges require the ability of researchers to be able to collaborate across countries, across industries, across sectors to tackle these enormous challenges that our planet is facing. And the cloud is accelerating this time to science through global collaboration. They use the most advanced, most cost-effective, scalable, and secure cloud compute and storage infrastructure and database technologies on demand. That means that these customers in all of these research domains are able to work on breakthroughs like climate change, like conservation, like food security, drug discovery, and healthcare in an extremely secure, collaborative, and cost-effective manner. A new IDC report about cloud computing showcases just how important the cloud is in transforming academic research by being able to reduce data analysis and processing times from weeks to hours, and by democratizing these data-intensive research efforts. Researchers are able to quickly analyze massive data pipelines, store petabytes or exabytes of data, advance research using these transformative technologies like AI or machine learning, and even experimenting with quantum computing. What does all this power give us? Insights. Insights that help us with our most pressing questions. And when we get those insights faster, turning scientific discovery into real-world solutions, we all win. This kind of collaborative research powered by the cloud has been critical during the pandemic, and we're just at the tip of the iceberg. This IDC report estimates that cloud-based computing infrastructure spending by educational institutions and research institutions is going to increase by more than 28% annually through 2025, when it'll surpass $5 billion. The rapid development of the COVID vaccine is a powerful example of how the cloud is speeding up science and enabling global collaboration. I was recently at Oxford, and it really just reminded me, how awesome the work that these scientists have done as they've worked together to quickly combat the pandemic. It truly is one of those things that inspires you to be able to continue to do more and strive to be better. Each of us are actually living examples of what can happen when researchers are able to collaborate quickly and focus on the science and not the servers, not the infrastructure. They are able to get from raw data to results faster and provide solutions for everyday needs. Researchers at Cincinnati's Children's Hospital Medical Center use the cloud to collaborate on life-saving innovations for pediatrics. Their cloud-based system on AWS allows them to build on a single data set and then collaborate with others' data to make better predictions for the future. Sorbonne University is conducting research to better understand the molecular functioning of COVID-19 to be able to come up with better treatments. And the outcome of this research will be a public data set that will be shared with the community and that could help identify new potent drugs to combat the virus. Yay, I'll give a clap for that one. It is really good to see everybody in person here again today, but I realize that it's still very difficult all around the rest of the world. This is a way to help. Research at the University of Sydney are using genomics to track and help preserve endangered species, like the Tasmanian devil. Because of the cloud, they're able to work with enormous amounts of genomic data more quickly and more efficiently. In fact, what they've described is the ability to complete 18 months of work in just 6 weeks on AWS. And our next speaker is going to share how collaboration and the cloud is helping to drive cutting-edge research into human-machine interfaces that highlight the significant advances that are able to be developed here. So if you would, please turn your attention to the video featuring Louise Richardson, Vice Chancellor of the University of Oxford.
Thank you for the introduction. It's a real pleasure to join you today. I have the privilege of representing an institution with an extraordinary track record of achievement and innovation. 54 Nobel laureates, 3 field medalists, and 6 Turing Award winners have called Oxford their home. Amongst our alumni, we count 28 British Prime Ministers, as well as scores of international leaders, and I'm told, at least 12 saints. Since its inception over 900 years ago, time and time again, Oxford has proven itself to be successful, resilient, and forward-looking. An institution that has not just adapted to change, but that has led the transformation. Today, Oxford prides itself on being recognized as the #1 university in the world for the 6th year running. Our ambition as an institution is and always has been to have real, tangible, and positive impact on the world on a truly global scale. We welcomed our first international student in 1190 and have been welcoming scholars from around the world ever since. Oxford researchers are stepping up to challenges such as the current COVID-19 pandemic. Over 1 billion doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, highly effective and developed in record time, have been produced and shipped to more than 170 countries on a not-for-profit basis. We are also trialing vaccines against plague and HIV. At the same time, we are massively accelerating the fight against the silent pandemic of antimicrobial resistance, which is currently claiming an estimated 700,000 lives every year. Our researchers are engaged in tackling the drivers of climate change by, for example, reinventing fuel and battery technologies, as well as by creating the frameworks against which progress will be measured. Our success is underpinned by the broad, multidisciplinary ecosystem that is Oxford, including one of the world's most vibrant research communities in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and robotics. Don't be fooled by the ancient and historic buildings. The people inside those buildings have their eyes firmly fixed on the future. Our 200 spin-out companies are testament to the entrepreneurial spirit. So we feel at home at a venue such as reInvent. Ours is a tradition of thinking big. We value curiosity as a driver for learning, for constant improvement, and ultimately for innovation and impact, benefiting all of society, both now and for future generations. In AWS, we recognize a like-minded organization, one which shares our far-reaching vision and ambition, and one of only a handful that have enabled truly global transformation. We value AWS's ever-innovative culture, the day one spirit, and its investment in people as the catalyst for becoming the most successful global cloud computing provider. AWS's mission to democratize access to research computing and tooling at scale, and its ambition to enable researchers dramatically to decrease the time from idea to science, dovetails with our own ambition to provide the most effective and fruitful environment on the planet for education and research. AWS has the ability to help us deliver this vision due to an unmatched expertise in providing computing as a service and an economy of scale that does not exacerbate the burden placed on the environment. For this reason, together with AWS, we have engaged in a broad and ambitious program of collaboration. Over the past 24 months, hundreds of Oxford students and researchers have engaged with AWS services and subsequently used it to conduct cutting-edge research. Our engagement has enabled Oxford to accelerate a diverse portfolio from advancing our understanding of ancient artifacts and ecosystems to creating cutting-edge, trustworthy artificial intelligence systems and advanced autonomous robots. They use it to create the realistic, large-scale simulations required to explore dexterous robotic manipulation and to develop approaches for efficient, multi-robot interactions in complex settings such as warehouses. AWS tools have become central to our work in helping humans understand robots, in our explorations of ethics and trust in autonomous systems, and in metacognition in human-robot collaborations. AWS has provided our practitioners unparalleled access to curated tools and infrastructure for building applications that revolutionize the operations of Oxford's gardens, libraries, and museums. Our Ashmolean Museum, the first in the world to be open to the public in 1683, is now at the forefront of digitization to make its treasures accessible to the entire world. Using AWS, a team from the museum built and deployed a collection of machine learning models, allowing it to catalog 300,000 ancient Roman coins, saving an estimated 3 years of work over traditional means. At Oxford's Wytham Woods, an ancient woodland and pioneering ecological research site, a cross-disciplinary university team are using AWS as a backbone to provide live connections from 40 IoT sensors installed on grassland plots to drones and mobile robots, which can survey the plots with multispectral and 3D imaging tools. The data from this network of environmental sensors will help us explore the potential effects of climate change on biodiversity, building predictive models in the cloud, and forming a digital twin of a real ecosystem in an ancient woodland. AWS's ability to support not just the science, but also the go-to-market strategies is enabling some of our testbeds to accelerate commercialization. The Oxford BioNLP project, for example, uses domain-specific language modeling to enable fact-checking and explainable question answering. As a result of the Oxford AWS collaboration, it has gone from conception as a testbed to spin-out discussions in less than 9 months. As might be expected, the ambition of an Oxford AWS engagement is substantial, the promise significant. As collaborators, we remain open and forward-looking. There is so much more to be done, and we look forward to the challenge.
It was wonderful to be able to talk with Louise when I visited Oxford recently. Their rich history is impressive, but what we're really proud about is that ability to sport that exploration, that innovation, that curiosity that she described that so many of the programs who are participating in that human-machine collaboration are undertaking. It was great to be able to see it in person. It was great to see Louise and team last month. But no matter what the question that researchers have, whether it is with the changing nature of the workforce or whether it's with patterns of drought in Africa, they can use AWS to seek those answers, and they can do it securely and collaboratively. Yesterday, we launched the world's first cloud innovation center based at an academic medical center in collaboration with the University of California, Davis Health, focused on digital health equity. By practicing Amazon's innovation process of working backward, this KIC is going to provide a space for clinicians, physicians, patients, developers, and others to exchange ideas, to prototype, and to validate open source solutions that are focused on improving health outcomes and reducing health disparities. The UC Davis Health KIC is going to tackle some of the most pressing challenges around health equity: access to care, population health, all in the backdrop of a health system that's rapidly undergoing its own digital transformation. In September, we announced a new program that committed $40 million over 3 years in AWS technical expertise and AWS cloud credits to help organizations develop solutions that improve health outcomes and health equity. We were so impressed with some of the applications that we received. I want to share just a few examples with you here today. WellTel Health, will support mental health and well-being services for youth and marginalized organizations in New Zealand using equitable digital health solutions that are focused on access and reach. The University of the Virgin Islands is going to create a searchable diabetes registry on the AWS cloud, and this population-based diabetes registry is going to help provide continuous care of patients, establish connections among care providers, and maintain the quality of care to address inequities in healthcare outcomes, and it's also going to increase researcher diversity in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Another example, Vodafone Foundation and Touch Foundation will receive support through this program from AWS to scale the M-Mama Emergency Rural Transport Program that connects pregnant women and newborns to life-saving care across Africa. And finally, the Arizona State University is going to use the AWS to bridge these data silos and gain an integrated, holistic view of homelessness in Arizona. And they'll take that information in order to inform policymakers, practitioners, and researchers in the state on how to address homelessness. I'm pleased to also share with you today that we've extended the deadline for applications this year all the way to December 15. So if you hadn't heard about this program, if you've now heard about it and you think you can contribute, please get your applications in by December 15th. It's open to all organizations that are focused on health equity around the world and that want to leverage AWS to develop solutions and improve health outcomes. I told you from the onset that we were going to talk today about innovations on Earth and beyond. And now we've gotten to the and beyond portion. We've highlighted several examples of how our customers continue to push the limits, and these limits expand well beyond life to life from space on this planet. I'm so excited to share some of the speed with which AWS partners and customers are moving when it comes to space. In 2020, AWS formally launched our aerospace and satellite business, where we support customers who are engineering satellites and building satellites, conducting space and launch operations, reimagining space exploration. And while we've supported space customers for more than a decade, the creation of this unit was a result of growing customer demand for more expertise. Our efforts are led by retired Major General Clint Crozier, who helped stand up and implement the U.S. Space Force. In just 14 months, he's assembled a dynamic team that has deep expertise and understanding of this industry so we can help our customers in all sectors be able to move quicker and innovate faster from space. We're working to be able to remove the limits of connecting space to Earth by re-envisioning how organizations can access, operate, discover, and further explore space to build a better world. We want to be able to democratize space data, providing access to more people in more places around the world so that innovators can come up with solutions ranging from climate change to eliminating poverty. The United Nations has recognized the power of space to help it achieve its Sustainable Development Goals. Consider goal number 2, zero hunger. How can space help eradicate global hunger? Well, space technologies can help optimize crop productivity and improve livestock management through enhanced monitoring and identification of suitable grazing areas. Another bold and vital goal is ending poverty by 2030. Space technology can help provide faster warning and real-time updates of natural disasters and extreme weather events. This helps protect homes and property. It can better optimize sustainable utilization and planning of natural resources, making sure that people have food and water. And it can provide better mapping of basic services for populated areas and connect unpopulated areas to the global economy and improve overall economic forecasting and development. This helps protect livelihoods. But to help reach all these goals, we must address the challenges of commercial and public sector organizations when they want to achieve their missions by managing and transforming data on Earth and in orbit and protecting valuable space assets. They're increasingly turning to AWS to help advance those missions. You heard today about our long association with NASA. We're pleased back when Adam was talking about it to handle the first rover, and we're continue to be pleased that we handled the Mars Perseverance rover mission that was led by NASA's JPL laboratory. In February of this year, when Perseverance landed on Mars after a 7-month, 300 million mile journey, it became the first planetary NASA mission with mission-critical communications and transfer of telemetry data into the cloud. By using AWS, NASA JPL is able to process data from Mars on Earth faster than ever before and helps them make better decisions on the health and safety and use of the rover. AWS also powers the Mars mission website, which ensures that it can scale up to meet the demands from millions of viewers. As Perseverance explores Mars, taking images, capturing sound, collecting core samples of the Martian rock, it also fuels the fascination so many of us have with exploring another planet. And more importantly, we believe it helps drive that next generation of innovators. We believe that this helps young people watching Perseverance today decide that they should take on the challenge of becoming tomorrow's engineers and help solve future challenges. In 2018, we listened to our customers' need to access satellite data faster and at lower cost, so we announced the availability of AWS Ground Station, the first fully managed service that lets customers control satellite communications, process satellite data, and scale their satellite operations, all while paying for only the actual antenna time they use. This has radically changed the game. It opens up satellite access to a wide range of organizations who might never have been capable of it previously. And AWS is excited to continue this innovation by announcing the expansion of AWS Ground Station with 3 more sites coming in 2022. We also continue to innovate with advanced features so that customers can deliver data from space with shorter satellite contact and downlink times. So what would you do with the power of a satellite at your fingertips? The good news is you don't have to wait to find out. At re:Invent here, we've got workshops focused on ground station sessions with Satellogic and Digital Earth Africa. We have a Chalk Talk with Ursa Space. And among other opportunities, you'll have the ability to learn and explore all of these capabilities. Many of them can actually be accessed virtually by our audience attending online. Because of the power of the cloud, you can connect and operate a satellite from a laptop in a conference room right here in Las Vegas. Gone are the days when you needed huge mission control rooms that are powered with enormous and expensive software and hardware. The cloud is reducing the cost, accelerating research, and enabling us to explore beyond the limits of our wildest imaginations. Because of the massive increase in satellites going into space, there's a need for even greater understanding and monitoring. According to the UN Office of Outer Space Affairs, there were 7,389 individual satellites in space earlier this year, which was an increase of 28% compared to 2020. And that number is expected to grow by a factor of 5 over the next decade. With that increase in satellite comes an enormous surge of data that goes with it. How do you manage this rapidly expanding set of data, get access to it, store it, and then really discern insights from all of that data? Doing this effectively, securely, and at scale will help us understand how to improve life here on Earth. It'll solve complex problems like climate change, and it helps us tackle the biggest questions around the universe. Our final speaker is going to share how his organization is reshaping the space industry and how the cloud is providing the speed needed to get insights more quickly. So please join me in welcoming to stage Stratos Davlos, Senior Vice President of Software Engineering at Astra.
Hey, thank you. Let me first talk to you a little bit about Astra. Astra is a space company. We offer low-cost, frequent launch services for small satellites. We are based in the Silicon Valley, and we are the first public company to build rockets at scale. Our mission is to improve life on Earth from space. And we do that by empowering our customers. They do some amazing stuff, from powering affordable and efficient agriculture to providing broadband services to the unserved and underserved populations around the world, enabling them to get better healthcare, get better education, work remote, things that most of us take for granted. We see a tremendous opportunity in building the infrastructure of the space economy. It is worth more than $1 trillion, according to Morgan Stanley. Astra was founded in 2016 by Chris Kemp and Adam London with the goal of reshaping how the space industry works. Here you can see Adam and Chris literally in their garage on Harrison Street in San Francisco building Astra. Our superpower is speed. Speed is critical in evolving our business. We need speed to get to insights much faster so that we can do three things. Number one, we want to iterate fast. Number two, we want to innovate fast. And number three, we need to automate fast. So we intentionally built Astra on the cloud to ensure that we can get to data-driven decisions faster. One more thing about Chris. Chris drove OpenStack and founded Nebula. So it should come as to no surprise that being a cloud-first company is in our DNA. Leveraging the cloud is what really sets us apart from others in the industry that still rely on on-prem infrastructures and large data centers. We were the first company to get to space within 4 years of our inception. And after we got to space, within less than a year, we managed to reach orbit, and that's a major accomplishment. At Astra, our rockets are born digital. And by digital, we mean software and data. We are, in fact, bringing the learnings of the software world in a very different engineering and manufacturing environment. And that sets us apart from everybody else in our space. Everything from designing a part to sourcing materials to testing and flying our rockets to managing our financial information is done on the cloud. The beginning of the rocket building journey is digital designs and models that go through some rigorous simulations and tests. And that allows us to evolve our rockets much faster. Then we take those digital designs and we move to the hardware environment. We call it the mock-it. And this is where software meets hardware. This helps us evolve the rockets much faster than if we were just to go straight to hardware. Data is what drives Astra. We have large time series data that get generated from our tests, our concurrent simulations, and actually flying the vehicle. We also have a lot of events. Those events come from our supply chain, our manufacturing equipment, and really as a byproduct as people interacting with our systems. So the question is, how can we leverage our data? How can we harness the power that's within our data to accelerate our mission? And this is where AWS comes into play in helping us to make an impact. Here you can see a high-level architectural diagram. We use AWS Glue and lake formation to create quickly and efficiently a single system of truth. The data lake is on AWS, and it houses the data that we actually use to build our machine learning models. Amazon Athena gives our internal customers, our engineers, and our data scientists the ability to query the data lake instantaneously. We also use Amazon Kinesis, and that allows us to really scale our telemetry pipeline. As you probably know, rocket launches must happen within some very specific conditions, and often they take place in remote locations around the world. Think of the rocket as an IoT device on the edge, where the edge can be in space. So leveraging AWS's global infrastructure ensures that we can have a resilient, interconnected, and highly available environment. Another interesting thing is that our manufacturing runs on the cloud, and it needs to scale. So today we build about a rocket a month, and we're planning to go a lot faster than that. Imagine Astra being like a car manufacturer that massively produces rockets instead of cars. Everything needs to come together just in time to assemble our rockets. And all of these things need to be secure and ITAR compliant, which is why we run it all on AWS GovCloud. As a result, we managed to get from generation 1 to generation 3 rocket within a few years, and compare that with others in the industry that take up to a decade to get to that point. In fact, we got to the launch pad within 60 days from our Vehicle 6 to our Vehicle 7. So what you see here is our Vehicle 7 that actually made it to orbit. So let me play the video for you. As we move forward, we are aiming at automating every possible aspect of our launch service. And we're also looking at building a lot more advanced capabilities. One example is creating a digital twin of our rocket by mapping every subsystem of the rocket itself to the digital equivalent. And that allows us to create much better predictive capabilities than what we have today. Another example is as our data grow, we need to be able to find it much easier. So we're looking at Alexa Lex and Kendra that will help us do exactly that. All right, so we are tremendously excited about how these efforts will allow our customers get to space quicker, more cost effectively, and more reliably, so that they can bring to all of us positive outcomes. At Astra, we pride ourselves in earning our ability to learn fast, iterate, and automate through our technology. And we're really looking forward how these advancements will help all of us make life here on Earth from space. We're just getting started. There's a lot more to come. And with that, I thank you for your attention.
That was awesome. Thank you. My dad's literally a rocket scientist, worked at Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory, so I kind of get into all that stuff. And congratulations, Stratus, on the launch success that you had just a couple of weeks ago. So we're working with our customers and our partners to lead the way into space because we're convinced that there's incredible innovation that's possible. R&D is enabled by global research, or orbital research that's making its way back down to Earth and impacting the way we live and we work. Commercial satellite operators are using machine learning to help analyze huge amounts of data quickly and deliver detailed results in near real time. For example, with the power of AWS, analysts are able to predict superstorms by carrying out sifting through as many as 10,000 different data sets at a time. It's a direct benefit to life here on Earth, helping to equip, prepare, and warn against storms before it's too late. We're talking about the ability to innovate from space and help billions of people on the planet. One customer, Edgy Bees, helps first responders in crisis situations like floods and wildfires by virtually augmenting roads, landmarks, and other mission-critical data on top of live satellite and drone feeds. This gives first responders an unprecedented visibility into the disaster scene, removing the ambiguity that may stand in the way of their rapid response and life-saving public safety operations. A system like this would not have been possible just 5 years ago. The speed of the cloud and the power of space combine to create forward-looking tools that monitor and prepare for activity here on Earth. Today, we're just super excited to make another important announcement that demonstrates the importance of this global footprint in space. We signed an agreement of strategic intent with Singapore's National Space Office, the Office for Space Technology and Industry, that supports both our commitment to innovating for customers and partners in this new space age. And it supports Singapore's focus on space as a new area for economic growth and technology. This statement of strategic intent is also a first of its kind for AWS in Asia. Singapore's growing space industry and technology ecosystem, consisting of academia, startups, and other industry players, is going to be able to use this cooperative agreement to carry out a number of interesting and exciting new investigations, education, training, and development to build new innovative space products and services. I hope that this session has encouraged you to think bigger and think about what's possible, and encourage you and your organization to take a leadership role in driving this type of innovation in your organization. And I hope the stories about opportunities in space have sparked your imagination and will be a part of a conversation and part of a revolution to be how we manage and transform data on Earth and in orbit. I don't want you to leave without learning a couple more things. So just check these out, if you will, for me. Go to the Public Sector Pavilion. Tons of experts there who can help you in this area of space. Seek out the Public Sector Networking Lounge over at the Wynn. Go and meet people, engage in conversations, learn and explore what you might be able to do on your own or with others in collaboration. Go see the space team over at the Aerospace and Satellite Lounge at the Venetian. Start experimenting now. AWS Cloud Services make it easy and inexpensive to get your arms around your organization's most complicated data projects and problems. And the bottom line is this: don't get left behind. Whether it's on Earth, in space, make sure you're leading and make sure your organization is ready for the future. We can help you get there, and we look forward to connecting with you soon. Thank you very much for attending.